Hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about insurance and the drama we have encountered trying to insure a supercar. So we've got a few cars, you guys know that, and we use State Farm and we use Hagerty and we've used USA in the past, but we had a few stated value policies with Hagerty. And if you guys aren't familiar with what a stated value policy is that if you get into an accident and they consider it a total loss, that there's already a stated value for the car and that's what they're gonna pay. And in the car community and in the exotic and sports cars and collectible cars, that's kind of the way to go because you don't want any ambiguity, you don't want any gray space. You wanna know that if something happens that you're insured and you're covered for the actual value of the car. So these stated value companies are pretty good. I know Hagerty's one, Grumby, Grumba, Grumbo, Grimbo, Gumbo, whatever. I'm still trying to figure out their name. And then there's your regular big box insurance companies like State Farm and Geico and Allstate. So we got this car and of course we called State Farm and State Farm's like, sure, we'll insure it for $1,400 every 6 months. So then we called Hagerty and we're like, hey, can we get a stated value policy on the car and matching our declaration sheet or whatever it's called. And they're like, yeah, we think we could get you squared away for about $1,400 or something like that for the whole year. So it was literally half price. And then the lady said, we have to send you a document, right? In my opinion, the document looked like some high schooler was hired to put it together. It wasn't fillable. We had to literally throw it in Adobe and try to fill it out. But this document was completely ridiculous. They were pretty much asking you if you've owned other cars of this caliber, cars of this horsepower. But then they wanted, how many cars have you owned in the supercar range? How many cars have you had with 600 or 500 horsepower more? Tell us about your driving history and your driving schools and blah, 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 all this nonsense. So we filled it out. And I'm a little, you guys know me, I'm a little wild. I used to race with SCCA Club Racing. I've graduated from Skip Barber. I was an HPD instructor. I did HPD 1, 2, 3, 4. I taught people how to race. I taught people how to drive. I did go-kart racing. I've had tons of cars. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to do it right. Why not? Let's just give it a shot. So I fill it in, give them guys a call, and they're like, and the lady was acting like we were in court. I was telling her my history, and she's like, but have you owned a supercar before? I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So I fired him. So now we are dealing with Grumby, I forgot anyways. But so far they're asking for information, but it's a little bit more logical. We haven't jumped on board with them yet, but they've got a competitive price. I think they're asking about $1,000-ish for the year with the stated value. And from what I'm looking at, all they ask you to sign is a document that says that you're not gonna go and track the car. And honestly, I'm not going to track the car. Now, I know a lot of people who have these cars, they probably want to go track them. So that might not work for them. I don't know if they could still get insurance or something like that. But as far as me, they're asking me to sign a paper that says, I'm not going to track the car or use it for rallies or drifting or whatever. And so as far as what I'm going to do, that's perfect. It is not straightforward, guys. Like, you just can't get one of these cars and be like, all right, I'm going to get insurance. Because the crazy thing is that the big box insurance companies, they will insure you, but they're going to charge you a lot more. So wherever you've heard those sayings, we're like, man, how much is a Ferrari or Lamborghini or McLaren to insure? It is a lot, but there's companies that are designed to lower that. You have to go through a couple hoops. And so far, Gumby, whatever their name is being the most professional one so far. And Hagerty's out. And the crazy thing is I sent him an email saying like, wow, you guys are okay with me taking all of my business because you guys can't think outside the box, right? You can't look at somebody who's like literally raced at Daytona and Sebring and you want to tell me like, I'm not sure if you could drive your car without being wild. If I was 21, that would make sense. But I'm done. Like, I'm not going back. I'm not dealing with that. Well, guys, that is the story of trying to insure a supercar.